Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday, the second day of October 2024. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your families are safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your families in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with those first responders who are out here every day, especially in disasters like now, trying to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage and clean up our places to keep them disease-free and clean. And those also that make deliveries of important things like food for our convenience. Double blessings of men and women that are trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover. The teenagers and the children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of prostitution and child prostitution. Pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on all those who profit from these things. And double curses on all the perverts that create the demand that these things exist in. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, veterans, senior citizens, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So yesterday, October 1st, Shams reported that the Knicks attempted to acquire Karl Anthony Towns on draft night in exchange for Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle. The offer was rebuffed. In fact, what his words were, it was a hard no, like they weren't interested at all in either of those two players. And then that the interest got a little bit warmer when they included Donte DiVincenzo in the deal because Minnesota long wanted Donte DiVincenzo, and you can understand why. And then the deal got over the finish line when it was not only Donte DiVincenzo, which we found out last week, but also a first-round pick. So that's how this got done. Couple things. Number one, I just need to, again, explain to many of y'all that don't understand, because there's a lot of platforms out there and there's a lot of ways people handle their platforms. I am not into trade speculation. One of the reasons I'm not into trade speculation is because most of it is false. Most people are just doing it for clicks, and they're doing it based on guesses. For Shams to come out yesterday with this information, it means he did not know until yesterday, which means nobody knew about what happened on draft night. Nobody knew the Knicks were, and he actually said they were quietly doing this. And we did a video last week called Close to the Vest, and that's what it means. So anybody that's giving you information about a trade speculation is guessing. They don't know. There were three wise men, Shams, Bagley, and Woj. Now there's only two. And unless it comes from those two, like it came from Shams yesterday, you can safely disregard it. But I understand that many people love this type of thing. They love the speculation. They love the guess. They love the argument about stuff that's fantasy or doesn't even exist. Fine. I am not into it. I am not into it. My channel is I am a Knicks fan. What does that mean for me? It means that I support our guys. I will never believe something negative about our guys. The only way you could lose me is if you are wearing that uniform and you are not putting forth 100% effort. That is why at some point I wanted Julius Randle traded after his first season, because I saw him giving up on defense. I saw him waving paper by him, and that caused me to lose respect for him. But then he started showing effort on both sides of the ball. And in the last year and a half, I've seen him show effort on both sides of the ball. Consistent effort. I've seen him work out in the summer and try to get his body in top shape for the season. I've watched him carry us to wins, and that won my respect. So people were saying trade Julius, and again, I get it. They're those of the mentality that these are just widgets and you could just deal them like you deal baseball cards, right? I'm not like that with the Knicks. I don't have an NBA channel. I don't have a Celtics channel, a Lakers channel. This is a Knicks channel. And so I support the team to the nth degree, and anybody that come at me with some negatives, that's why y'all gonna get got, because we don't do it that way at my channel. And especially if there's some of my favorite guys. Now, I was looking at, for example, well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but MitchRob is one of my favorite guys. From the time he was drafted, I liked him. And I thought he was a championship piece. And yes, he's been very injury prone. You can criticize him like that. But I'm a Knicks fan. And while, yes, I agree he's been injury prone, I'm going to stick behind him regardless. Tom Thibodeau, I respect him as a coach in his desire to do the best he can to live this game so that he wins. So anybody criticizing him, I'm very defensive of him. So that's why if you come on my channel with negativity, I'm going to bash you. That's it. Some people say, well, you just don't like people disagreeing with you. No, I don't like a-holes. There are people that can intelligently disagree, and then there are a-holes. A-holes get got. And after being in this channel with this Knicks thing for 5 years, believe me, I can tell the difference. So that is why some of y'all see why I'm so short with some of this. And I'm not believing when somebody brings up, oh, Cat for, whoever. I'm not believing it until Shams or Begley reports it. To me, anybody else reports it is dreaming and guessing and hoping. So just because that dream, that guess, that hope comes to pass, don't think you're going to get any props from me. What you want, a medal? Because you think you guessed right? It ain't about that. Okay? So with the Knicks, I'm very sensitive to all of our guys. I'll get their back regardless. It's like family. Somebody else can criticize your family, but you can criticize your family. Somebody else come in there, it's a different story because that's fam. That's how I feel with some of these dudes, okay? Like a MitchRob. So now MitchRob was involved in a trade. At least they wanted to, and they was rejected. Okay, they didn't want him. Can understand that because he's injury prone, but he's our MitchRob. See, and I've seen enough from him to know he can be a dominant player, though he is injury prone. And so my hope is, listen, can we get you for 50 games this year? If we can get MitchRob for 50 games, we can win the chip. Because he has shown, for example, what he did against Cleveland 2 years ago and destroying that whole front line by himself. What he did to Embiid so bad that Embiid had to grab his leg and hurt him because he was being embarrassed by Mitchell Robinson. See? So I got my guys back. Yes, he gets hurt a lot. Yes, he's injured. But I'm not looking to get rid of him. That's my guy. See? Some of y'all do. And again, that's you. Okay? But if you get dissed by me, that's why it is. I support my guys. And I'm Deuce high. So anybody comes in saying Deuce can't handle the ball, Deuce can't shoot, Deuce is not going to... Now you're going to get got because that's my guy. I got his back. Especially since I wanted him from West Virginia. I was like, this guy the Knicks need to draft. And they did. See? So that's how this game works. While they wearing orange and blue, I got their back. Unless they show me otherwise that they don't deserve to be wearing that uniform. But when they putting forth effort and they trying real hard, those are my guys. Okay? So that's why I like the saying, once a Knick, always a Knick. Okay? Because if they came here like Derrick Rose, like Q-Dog, I was looking at the 2020-2021 roster. R.J. Barrett, Kevin Knox, Frank Ntilikina, Theo Pinson, Emmanuel Quickley. These are the young guys we had. Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin. Now, right now, all we got left is MitchRob, and now we got Deuce who came after these guys. And I remember, I got to give some props to the gossip monger, Mark Berman. Because I remember it was about that time. Berman was like, well, you're going to gather all these assets for a blockbuster. Of course, it was way too soon to be thinking about that. But eventually, that's exactly what the Knicks did because everybody's gone. Emmanuel Quickley and RJ are in Toronto. We got OG for them. Okay? And then, of course, now Juju is gone and Devo is gone. And, of course, OB is in Indiana. OB's in Indiana. He gone. Cam Reddish, he gone. All these young dudes we had are gone. Kevin Knox is gone. And so basically, when you look at it, that's exactly what they did. They drafted these young players, they developed them, and then they flipped them for OG, for Mikal Bridges, for guys like that, for Cat, Brunson. They flipped them, okay, for that. So that's what has happened. But now we got the squad. We got a championship level team right now. They just got to go out and show it. Okay, we got a championship level team. So right now, the way things stand, someone asked me yesterday, they said, well, why is it that you didn't mention Mitchell Robinson yesterday? You think he's going to get traded? And I explained to him what I just told you. I don't deal in trade speculation. What I deal with is in facts. The fact was, what was reported by Ian Begley is that Mitchell Robinson is out until at earliest December or January. And that he's in New York rehabbing his foot. I'm going to go with that. I'm not going to speculate that he's being traded because it's fun to do. It ain't fun to me. I don't even find that fun. I don't find it hopeful. I want MitchRob to be here. If he gets traded, we'll deal with it then. But right now, we got Karl Anthony Towns, and we got our boy, Jericho Sims, behind him. And we got Precious, and we got Deuce. And I don't care about what they claiming now is a lack of depth. We good. And now we just waiting to see, is it going to be Shamet or Payne that comes up in that 9th spot? I think it's going to be Shamet. Some think it's going to be Payne. Whatever. We're going to find out soon enough, because them two brothers, who I believe are friends, they've definitely been teammates before, they're going to have to fight it out in camp. It is what it is. You're going to have to fight it out in camp, So it's going to be a good camp. It is right now. So we're going to see what happens. But as far as our top 8, we already know who they are. Okay? We ain't got to guess about that. Tibbs don't change what he does. It is what it is, man. So I'm down with Tibbs. I'm down with MitchRob. I was down with Juju. He's now a Minnesota Timberwolves. Wish him the best. Of course, we was all down with DiVincenzo. He's now I think he's going to be an all-star. I really do. I think he's going to be that good. So I wouldn't be surprised. But it ain't like we're going to lick our chops or we shouldn't have traded him like some of y'all going to say. The trade happened because it had to happen to get Karl Anthony Towns. And for Minnesota to say no, hard no, on Juju with MitchRob, that goes to show you how highly they valued Karl Anthony Towns. And again, the Towns deal came as a financial move because his money was heavy, and they got other guys they got to pay, like Jaden McDaniels. They got to pay him. And so, they got Devo locked up for 3 seasons. He's locked up. He ain't going nowhere. So they got that. They got a cheap dude. They got Juju, who's got this year's contract and an option for next year. And ain't nobody giving him no $200 million. I'm sorry. I love Juju, but some people say he took the pay cut. He ain't take no pay cut. He got what he could get when he signed that $100-something million contract. Nobody was giving him more than that. And that's cool. I would still take him and let us win the chip with Juju. But gotta be real. Ain't nobody giving him that kind of money now. That kind of coin where he's getting over $200-something million. I doubt it. But he could get another $100 million out there in Minnesota, because now $100 million, what $200 million is now, $100 million is less now. Even though that's a lot of freaking money. But I think he'll be all right. I'm not worried about Juju. I don't feel sorry for Juju. He's good. He's on a winning team. He could have got shipped to Charlotte, God forbid. But he got shipped to a team that's contending also for a championship. In fact, so is Hartenstein. He's on a team that's contending for a championship. And then we're contending for a championship. I think everybody's good. Right? I think we're good. And I'm down with our guys. Our guys are our guys. And they've earned their positions. They've earned their spots. They all come through Thibodeau's hell. And they, the young guys, the Mitchell Robinsons and the Deuce McBrides. And so I'm not saying, we need to replace them or we need something else. No, hell no. We good. And so let's move forward, Knicks Nation. Yes, Shams did bring it out yesterday. They talked in June. But I don't want to hear nobody saying, well, you owe somebody an apology. I don't know when to go damn apology. For what? For guessing right? Please. Come with some analysis and then we could talk, all right? But in the meantime, y'all enjoy your Wednesday. Shalom.